Hello, good afternoon, everyone. You're welcome to another session. I'm simply going to make this video and upload. And I beg you all to watch it and to help you to learn. Okay, so I'll start by, I'll share my screen now. Okay, so far we have talked about communication and telecommunication. I'll try to move as fast as possible to make the video, to make the screen sharing more visible. I will run the slideshow. Okay, so here we are, computer networks and internet. Okay, having seen what communication and telecommunication means, we can safely move on to computer net. A computer network is what? It's simply a group of computers and other devices that are connected by communications channel for the purpose of sharing resources such as printers. And what is this communication channel? Communication channel could be cable. If you bring cables, bring a cable and connect two computers together, and another cable connects the two computers, you connect them to also to a server, to a printer, you have a computer network. Just two computers can give you a computer network. When you have more than two computers connected with other devices, you are still having a computer network, okay? In one office, all right, or in one room. Or you can also, yes, one room. Now, when you now have a one computer network, another computer network connected, you have what we call internet, IN, small letter I, that's lowercase I. These two or more networks that can communicate with each other. You have computer network A, computer network B connected. It can even be up to computer network C or D. They are all connected and they are sharing information. They are communicating with each other, with one another. That's internet. Now, the other one is the capital letter I, the uppercase I, international network. This is the one that a lot of us are using now, internet, global. This one is a network that links computers all over the world by satellites and telephone. There are two things it uses to link computers all over the world. One is satellite, the other one is telephone. And it connects users with service networks such as email and the World Wide Web. So users that surf the web, users that go send email messages and other things, okay? Now, the internet is the most notable network. Like I have said, it's a global network. Now, next, let's look at communication types. Communication types. Communication types. What do we mean by communication types? We are simply saying communication types are simply the flow of messages. Oh, did I stop sharing? Please pardon me. Let me quickly share this. Okay. It's the flow, how messages flow. How messages flow from one source to a destination. Okay. So there are three basic types of communication, three basic ways messages flow from a source to destination. The first is simplex communication. Then we have the half duplex communication, and then we have the full duplex communication. The simplex communication is such that allows messages to flow only in one direction from source to destination. Like I'm the source of the message that you are receiving now, or that you will receive. So I am speaking, and all you will do is to listen. So that's a simplex communication. For example, somebody using a public address system, the person holding the microphone, public addressing system, talking to an audience. The audience simply listens. So it is one way, one directional communication method. Then you have the half duplex communication. This is the type that allows messages to flow in both directions by two-way communication flow. So, but it doesn't mean that the communication flow at the same time, because there will be a confusion. No, what happens is there are two people, source and destination. There's the one person is source at time t, let me say time 1. Then after time 1, when it gets time 2, and the other person becomes the source. Okay, so the two parties can be source and destination depending on who is speaking at any given time. So for example, the people you have, that when people use the CB radio, if you've seen the police, military people, or security people use the CB radio, they will just put to their ear, and then they give information. Then they say over. The moment they say over, they are handing over to the other person. That person who is receiving the message is now going to take over. The signal will be passed to that person to now talk. So when that person is talking, this other person, the first person, will keep quiet and listen. When that one finishes, that one too will say over, and then this one too will now talk, and that one will listen. That's how it works. That's a half duplex communication. Then the last one is a full duplex. Full duplex is a type of communication that allows messages to flow in both directions at the same time, simultaneously. For example, when we make a telephone call, if you call me now and you begin to say something, you begin to talk, I will listen. Hello, hello. You see, both of us can say hello at the same time. Okay. Now if you are the one that called me, of course, I will be the one to listen to hear why you are calling me. But if you call me hello, hello, and then you don't talk, I can ask, please, who is speaking? You see, I'm talking, and then you answer who you are. Now, if along the line you say something that maybe I don't agree to, I can talk into your talk. I can interject you. You see, that's a full duplex communication. We are talking at the same time. Okay, full duplex. I believe you understand that. Because of time, I'll be rushing a little. Now, move on to the internet and the www. The internet, as we have seen, is a global network, global computer network. It's a worldwide system of computer networks. It started in 1969. Was started by the US government when there was an agency, all because of war, the military, the Advanced Research Projects Agency started it. And so when they researched and got this network where they could network and communicate, share resources, get to know where is this soldier, this military location, where is the other military location, what is happening there, how is the war, that was their concern. But they never knew that it was going to blossom into what we have today. Mind-blowing, really. But this is how it all began. So now, when it began like that, of course, I've told you, the main reason was all about these military guys getting to do their work. They want to know what is happening in the war front. They want to know what is happening at base and all of that. So of course, it was just for that. Then came the World Wide Web, or the web. Now, many people confuse this. Many people feel the web is the same as the internet. Please, no. The web is different from the internet. How? The web is a subset of the internet. It's just like saying a child is the same as the mother. No. The mother, the internet is the mother of the World Wide Web. Yes, that's a beautiful way I can use to make you understand quickly. It's a subset. The web, the World Wide Web came out of the internet. The internet was already existing when the ARPANET came. And then now, what led to the web, designing the web, was the fact that the ARPANET was not fun. Remember, the purpose was not for luxury. It was not for socials. It was strictly for military strategizing, okay? To get military information and all of that, for them to strategize so that they will have a strong military front. So there wasn't anything fun, nothing beautiful about the internet that time. So with time, as people now got to start using it, developers began to say, this thing can be made more interesting. And that's how the World Wide Web came on board. So what is it really? It is, the web is a series of interconnected servers that support specially formatted documents. Now, the catch, what I want you to pick there is this formatted, specially formatted document. That is what brought the beauty. That is why today, when you go online, you see beautiful things, pictures, and colorful things here and there. It is because of the World Wide Web that came on board, right? So these specially formatted documents were supported by servers, and these servers were interconnected. So when you have these interconnected servers supporting these specially formatted documents, you have the web. Okay. Now, what does it mean to you and I, users? It means that as users, you can switch from one document to another just by clicking on a marked text. A text is marked with a color, marked maybe blue or green or red, whatever the color. You click on it and it takes you to another document. So that's the beauty of the web. You can move from one document to another, hyperlink here and there, okay? A server, we talked about server. Remember, we said the web is a series of interconnected servers that support specially formatted documents. So what is a server? A server is a program or a computer that responds to requests from other programs and delivers the requested documents. A server is a program or a computer. Many times, maybe for ease of understanding, many people just see a server as a computer. But you see, from our study as computer science and computer engineering students, we have come to know that the computer hardware can do nothing without the software. So even if you have a computer that we look at as server, there is a program, a server program, a program inside that is actually making it work as a server. So I think it makes sense to understand that a server is a program or a computer that responds to requests. You sit in front of your computer and you send a request. When you click a hyperlink, for example, when you click a link, on the internet and you are browsing the internet, you click a link, you are actually sending a request. That clicking sends a request to a server. The server receives the request, responds to it by fetching what you have asked for. It checks where it is stored and then fetches it from there and then sends back to you. So that's a server. Beautiful work. There are many resources on the internet. Large volumes are available now. Now, what I have here is not all. You see, email, news group. You don't want to buy newspaper, go online. You can read as much as you like. E-commerce, You have news group where people talk about trending news in the society. You can download software, use software. Entertainment is there. You can watch films, music, education. You can learn a lot of things online. There are ebooks, a whole books from cover to cover online that you can download and read. Of course, some of them you pay some money to get them. You can publish your own books, publications, or you can also read other people's publications. And then sports, you can go into the world of sports on the internet. Internet infrastructure providers, who are they and what do we mean by this? They are bodies. They can either be international or local, who provide infrastructures for connectivity, for you and I to connect onto the internet. You must have these bodies or agencies that provide the infrastructures we need to connect, to have connectivity, okay? They are also called internet platform providers. Now there are two, or we can categorize them. One is international service providers, and then we have the local service providers. So the international service providers provide internet service connectivity to local providers, okay? Then the local service providers in turn provide internet service connectivity to subscribers. Then subscribers are the final consumers like you and I, the users of the internet services. We are the subscribers. So when you buy your data, you are subscribing. And you buy your data, you connect onto the internet. You are a subscriber, you are a user. Okay. I wanted to use a typical day-to-day activity for us to understand this. Okay, how the flow. A company produces goods, tissue paper, milk, Indomie, and other things that you need. Then you have this big businessmen who have the money to buy these things in bulk. We call them wholesalers. So the wholesalers go to the company and they buy in bulk and bring and store. Then when they bring, you have the retailers. The retailers are the small shop owners, They go to the wholesaler and then they buy in smaller quantities, and then they come to their shops and then they display those things item by item. Then the users, you and I who need these things, you want to drink tea. Are you going to buy a carton of sugar? Are you going to buy a carton of milk or Bonvita? No, you just maybe one or two. You just go to the shop and buy the little you need at a time. Now, the same way, you can liken the wholesaler to an ISP, international service provider. And then you can liken the retailer to a local service provider, because he buys from the wholesaler in larger quantity and then he sells to the user. So the users are you and I that visit the small retail shops to buy our, maybe just please give me one super pack Indomie. You're buying only one, but the retailer may have bought a carton, you see, or 2 cartons. But the wholesaler would have bought maybe a truck full of this thing just to store. So this is how it goes. I'm sure you understand this. You mustn't forget. I've broken it down in a way that nobody should say, I don't understand who an ISP is, who an LSP is, and then who a subscriber is. Everybody should know that now. What are the uses of computer networks? The uses are many. They are many, but we are going to just pick a few in this for this our course for now. One is computer networks are used in business applications. They are used in businesses So you can see a networking business application here. It's a business having this, this must be a staff or maybe the owner of the business, and this is a client, and this is a network. Now, let me explain. Let me use this and explain briefly what I was saying before. Assuming the wholesaler, the wholesaler, the company is in Lagos that produces, okay, let me even not go far. Okay, let's just say we have an Indomie company in Kaduna here, okay? And then a wholesaler is in Zaria. Now, for him to buy the stuff, the Indomie from the Indomie company, one way is to travel down there, book, place his order, stay there, and they load the Indomie for him in the truck, and then he comes down to Zaria. But you see, with the computer networks, he doesn't have to do that. He can sit in front of his computer and place order. He must have maybe registered with the company, found out everything about how the company does their ordering system, and then he places order via the network, you see. And then from the server, the company, okay, this is a client, they're assuming this client is the wholesaler. He places order, and then from the server picks this request, and then sends, he knows, oh, who needs this, and then he sends to this business owner. And here, the business owner is able to interact with the client. All of this is happening over the network, over this network. You see, but they are not seeing themselves. They are in different places, and the wholesaler, who is a client now, places his order. The company personnel receives the order, makes sure everything works well. The client pays his money through e-banking, mobile banking or whatever means, and then the company personnel goes on to do everything about the order, and then gets all the goods on the truck and send to this client who is in Zaria. So the client just sits in his office and the goods are brought. All what has happened, he has used the internet to do all of this and save some money, save costs, is highly reliable, and then is able to save data, save information anytime. He doesn't need to crack his head. How many cartons of Indomie did I order for? On his machine, over the network, he can still check. So information is saved, everything. So and of course, every business is for profit making. It makes more profit. Computer networks are also used in home applications. You can stay at home and access a remote information. Person-to-person communication, yes, chatting and all of the interactive entertainment and electronic commerce. Some people are staying at home and working, making money. So that's e-commerce. Then mobile users also use computer networks. Who are mobile users? People who are on the go, Today, with our mobile phones, we connect to the internet, and anywhere we are able to use the resources on the internet. Also used for social issues. We have a lot of social groups. We have news group, bulletin boards, where you are free to express common interest groups. We all have other social media groups, platforms. WhatsApp is there, and then we have several other, which all of you know even more than us. You have Instagram, Bobo. There are so many. But students, a lot of you spend too much time on social media. Please cut it down. You can waste your time. You spend hours and you won't even know you spend that long a time. And when you now want to read, you are tired because you spent your eyes and your time on social media. So please cut down on it. Now, network topology is supposed to be the next slide, but you can see the slide is blank. Now, network topology simply speaks about the structure or how a computer network is organized. Usually we have the bus topology, we have the ring topology, and then we have the mesh, which could be a hybrid. Okay, now here, I would have said I'll come back to it and we'll discuss in detail the topology, but let me just say it in passing, because this diagram here is that of a bus topology. A bus topology gives you a cable, just one cable, where all the computers are connected. Each of these computers is, in network terminology, is called a host. Each of them is a host. So there are 6 hosts here, 6 computers connected in this bus topology. Now the next one on this side, this here is a ring topology. It is connected in a circular form, in a ring form, as you can see. Okay, as you can see here. Here there are 8 hosts, 8 computers in this ring topology. Okay, now the mesh, the diagram of the mesh is not here, but from the word mesh, you can picture something that does not have a defined structure. The ring has a defined structure. The bus topology has a defined structure, but the mesh does not really have a defined structure. But let's move on, because I had to just say that in passing. Types of network. We have 3 main types of network. You have the local area network, you have the metropolitan area network, you have the wide area network. Let's start with the local area networks. These are private owned networks, okay, within a single building or a campus of up to a few kilometers in size. That's distance wise, okay? So it is one thing you need to know, that it is private owned, okay? It's owned by private owners or individual or a group of people, but private, okay? It's not owned by the government. So a school can have a local area network, like a university or even a secondary school, if they so wish. An organization, a company can have a local area network. Okay. It connects personal computers and workstations to share resources and exchange information. I think I must have explained that the purpose, computers are not just connected for connecting sake. There is a purpose. The purpose is always to share something, either to share a resource or to share a file, or to share a device. Computers can be connected to share a printer, and that saves the company or an institution money. Instead of buying printer for every office, you can have the printer shared by the computer network, the computers that are connected together. So they will be sharing one printer. Okay. Now, please, I won't want to explain this over again, but whether it is a local area network, metropolitan area network, or a wide area network, they all consist of 2 things: transmission lines and switching elements, okay? The transmission lines are circuits and channels that move bits between machines, and then the switching elements are elements that connect 2 or more transmission lines. So here we see the second one, metropolitan area network, MAN. Okay, this is it's a bigger version of a LAN, local area network, and it spans a large geographical area like a town, a city, okay? Remember I said I wouldn't want to repeat what they consist, so it's the same thing here. And then if you are a designer designing a metropolitan area network, you can design something that look like this. Look at the buildings in the city, all connected there. And these are cables, okay, that's transmission lines, okay, or channels. Look at them. And this one connects from this building to the main transmission line, like that, and this one. And then all of them come to this point, and then they meet at a junction. This is a junction box, and then move on like that, and all to a server. This is server, okay? I will not be able to explain all of it, but just for you to see and understand a little bit to some extent how the design of a metropolitan area network can look like. Now, the next one is a wide area network. This one spans a larger geographical area, and it consists of the same thing I had said before, transmission line and switching elements. Now, an example, look at here, this is an example of a design. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 networks connected by a subnet. A subnet actually consists of routers that help control how requests flow from network to network, okay? I will use the next slide to explain this router. If these boxes here are computers, otherwise called hosts. So here you have three hosts on this network, and this network has 4 hosts. This network has 3 hosts. So you have one LAN, all connected, and then the subnet controls what happens here. Now, these subnets have routers. This is one router, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 routers in this subnet. I'll use the next slide to explain further. So how data is transmitted over networks. Anytime data or information is sent over the internet, the data is broken into tiny bits called packets. There is no how the data or information can go in lump form. Rather, it's always broken into tiny bits called packets. And these packets are what travels over many different routes between the sender and the receiver. Okay, let's use this diagram now. Let me explain further. This is the sending host. Remember, the host is a machine. A human being initiates the sending, of course, through the host, that's this machine. And this is the sending process, okay? And the sending process now, for this, whatever is being sent to move across the network, it's broken into packets, and these are the packets, see. So it comes into the subnet. I explained a little of what the subnet is in the previous slide. So this subnet has 5 routers, router A, B, C, D, E. And you see the way they are stationed, okay. Now, the packet gets to router A. Now, router A, we need to make a decision. Which path is the shortest path to follow to deliver this packet? It looks at B. If it gets to B, then it has to enter D before it gets to E, because the receiving host is on this end here. So now the wisest and smartest decision the router A takes is to pass this packet through to router C. Then router C now looks again, which route is the shortest. Instead of going through D, you know, it said no, if it goes through D, then it is going to make 2 journeys. So it chooses to make only 1 journey, which is to router E. And then router E gets the package and then sends it on to the receiving host. So this is basically how data transmission over networks is done. We would have looked at common terms used in communications, but I would like to stop here because of time. We'll run a class again next week. Thank you very much, students. Thank you for, please, I beg you to watch these videos and be careful what you do online, okay? Be careful what you do online. When in the next class, In the next class, I will talk a little bit more as we look at those common terms that are used, and also what each of them stand for, and how they are used, and the dangers that they pose to users. Okay, thank you very much for being there. Watch these videos, please. In your spare time, you can be lying down on your bed and you watch and learn. From your notes, pull your questions to get anything you don't understand, write down your questions. When we have opportunity to meet physically, then we look at those questions together. It will form your revision before your exam. Goodbye and happy weekend. Be good. God bless you. Bye.